golfing world travelled to Portland in Oregon to visit the recent McGladrey Classic champion and all-round good guy, Ben Crane. The 35-year-old grew up in the Pacific Northwest state and still lives in his hometown, close to the golf club where he first took up the game.
I first got into golf not too far from where we're sitting. My grandpa lived about half a mile from here, and he had a golf course across the street from his house. And he had this little bag that was, I think it was for like liquor bottles or something, you know, it was about this big, but it had this little cut-off chipper in it. And I just go out and grab this little chipper and start swinging it in his yard. And by the time I was 5 years old, he was saying, "You're gonna be the next Ben in the game, the next Ben Hogan." And I just really liked the encouragement from my grandpa. I just love my grandpa. I'd do anything to spend time with him. And so if we're gonna hang out together, we were gonna be on the golf course.
Ben's rise through the ranks as an amateur golfer was unspectacular. A win at the 1998 Pacific Coast Amateur Championship at the age of 22 highlighted his potential. But it wasn't until he won his second nationwide tour event in 2001, en route to earning his PGA Tour card, that he felt a successful career was a realistic goal.
I wasn't a great junior player. I think I've really worked hard at the game, and I think that I've really just been dedicated to just taking the weakness in my game and making it a strength and kind of keep picking away at those weaknesses. And I really don't think I was ready to play on tour until the day I made it, which was 2002.
Gaining his full playing rights for the PGA Tour meant Ben would be teeing it up alongside a number of players who he'd followed as a youngster. And the prospect of rubbing shoulders with household names was something he'd played down in his rookie year.
My focus was not knowing who I was paired with. I worked very hard to shelter myself from not knowing, because I knew I was going to be playing with guys that I'd grown up just idolizing. And so people would say, "Well, who are you playing with tomorrow?" I said, "I don't know, I don't want to know, you know, I don't want to think about it. I want to go to bed trying to, you know, not think about I'm playing with Ernie Els tomorrow." I wasn't even focused on keeping my card. I was just focused on just playing, you know, one day at a time. It was much more simple than that.
Ben's first year on the PGA Tour got off to a slow start, but his early encounters left him confident that he had the ability to mix it with the big names on tour.
I felt like, wow, you know, when I do play my game and when I do excel, I really can play with these guys. And starting out the year, one of the most encouraging things was the first tournament I ever played on the PGA Tour. I missed the cut by 2 strokes, and I thought, you know, I really didn't play all that great, and I only missed the cut by 2 strokes, and most people might have been really bummed about that. I was really excited. I was like, well, maybe, you know, if I play my game, I'm going to be able to make cuts out here. And so for me, it was just baby steps.
2 top 10s during that first season helped Ben retain his playing card. A year later, though, the American would go one step further and seal his first PGA Tour win at the 2003 Bell South Classic, but only after some advice from a player already established on tour.
It was my second year on tour and was really struggling. I remember having a conversation with Stuart Sink the week before at the Players Championship just about fear and just kind of being afraid to make mistakes on the golf course and really not feeling free out there, and really just kind of confiding in Stuart and spending some time talking to him about it. He really gave me great advice and counsel and really encouraged me. The next week was the tournament in Atlanta that it was at the time was called the Bell South Classic. I barely made the cut. I made the cut by 1 stroke and was excited just to be playing the weekend. Went out on Saturday with nothing to lose and shot 64, and all of a sudden climbed myself into the tournament, but still wasn't even considering winning the tournament. And I get paired with Stuart Sink on Sunday, and so that was really cool. And he was just encouraging me all along the way. I started playing really well, and my putter was hot. I was making birdies from everywhere, and we get to the last hole. I wasn't looking at leaderboards. I knew nothing. I hit a 7-iron on the green and made the putt for eagle, and I just won by 4. And I looked up at the leaderboard, and it was like this welling feeling of adrenaline just filled my body. It was just like, oh my gosh, like my dreams of, you know, of winning on tour just came true.
2010 is to date Ben's best year on tour. A win at the Farmers Insurance Open at Torrey Pines was followed by success outside of America at the inaugural CIMB Asia Pacific Classic in Malaysia. That win remains a key memory in Ben's career and is one he still uses when he needs to raise his game.
I relive that so often. I just made that great stroke where I just relaxed and I look up and I'm like, and just that feeling of, oh my gosh, it went right in the hole and the tournament's over, and oh, it was just such a great feeling. My manager and my mental coach talk about imprinting. You want to imprint the good things and let the bad things kind of go, and that's kind of what we talk about in our Golf Boys song. We talk about, I want my birdies all day long, let my bogeys go, hey, and so that's something that I've just imagined a lot, is just reliving that putt, reliving that feeling I had on the 72nd hole there at the CIMB Malaysia Classic, and it was one that I'll never forget.
Fake flowers?
24.90.
How much?
24.
24.90?
Ben finished 20th in defence of his CIMB title, but 2011 has seen him win his 4th PGA Tour event, and he's also seen the birth of his 3rd child. Maybe in 2012 he'll challenge for those majors. We can only hope he gives up the dancing.
That's all I got right there.